And now, please, I would like to ask the representative of the graduates to give a speech.
Your Magnificence, dear Vice Rector, Spectabilis, dear Dean, Honorabilis, dear Promoter, Domini et Domini Professores, dear colleagues, dear guests, and I also would like to acknowledge from the Philippine Embassy, Consul General Indira C. Banyares, and Cultural Attaché Jing Umaga Diaz, my mother Colita, Aunt Feli, Fanda, Dr. Raisa and Marison, and my dear classmates. Before the ceremony started, I couldn't help but notice something familiar happening around me. People adjusting their outfits, angling their phones for that perfect shot, and curating their captions for Instagram. It's normal, isn't it? To capture this moment and to freeze it in time and share it with others. But as we sit here or stand here, surrounded by centuries-old walls, full of history, I want us to pause and ask ourselves, what stories are we choosing to tell, and what stories are we leaving out? Throughout this program, I've had the privilege to listen to the stories of people whose lives often remain outside of the frame. I've sat with Hibakusha, the survivors of the atomic bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, whose voices echo with resilience and a plea for peace. I've listened to Filipino comfort women who shared their pain not for pity, but for justice. I've spoken with migrant workers here in Europe, whose hands build futures in countries they cannot call their own. In the United States, I've met worker owners of cooperatives who challenge the narrative that small workers have no power. In Korea, I trek with mountain tour guides who balance tradition and modern tourism. And in India, just last week, I saw how milk producers have turned an everyday necessity into a movement of collective empowerment. These people didn't have Instagram reels or carefully curated captions. Many didn't have platforms at all. Their stories aren't always beautiful or convenient, but they are essential. And today, I ask everyone to think about the stories we tell, not just about ourselves, but about others. What narratives are being gatekept, edited out, or silenced altogether? Whose voices remain unheard because they lack the privilege, the access, or the platform to share their truth? As journalists, or in the broader sense, everyone, as storytellers, we've been trained to frame stories consciously. We've been taught to choose words carefully, images intentionally. But in the same breath, how do we carefully listen? How do we become not just tellers of stories, but amplifiers of voices that have long been ignored? Each of us here will share this graduation moment online. But when the filters fade, when the applause dies down, what story will we come up with next? Will it be one of individual achievement, or will it be about the connections we've made and the responsibility we bear to the world outside these walls? My journey in this program has taught me one thing above all. The power of storytelling is not just in the telling, but in the listening. It's in sitting across from someone, whether it's in a newsroom, a farm, or on a mountainside, and saying, your story matters. It's in recognizing that while our voices may carry far, they are only as meaningful as the stories we choose to carry forward. So, as we step out into the world with our new degrees and our dreams, let us not only tell better stories, but also fight for a world where everyone can. Maybe we can ask ourselves whose stories we are centering, and let's work to make space for those still fighting to be heard. Today is about celebration, yes, but it's also about commitment to the people whose voices shaped us, to the stories yet to be told, and to the responsibility that comes with the privilege of this education. Congratulations to all of us, and thank you.